In Stilfontein now, Rufilwa Saboko also in Stilfontein with community members and members of SAFTU who gathered there. They, of course, have their own views about what's been said by Minister Gwede Mantashe of late Rufilwa. Good afternoon to you. What's the situation where you are there?
Good afternoon, Stephen. Together with our viewers, the situation is that community members are here, just as the Minister of Mineral Resources and Petroleum, Gwede Mantashe, just arrived a few minutes ago, together with the Minister of Police, to assess the situation here in Stilfontein as the retrieval operation by the mining rescue experts continues to retrieve more people who are alive, but also the dead bodies that are also being retrieved. And you know that there has been that anticipation or a lot of talks about the arrival or the Minister of Resources, Minister Gwede Mantashe, having not come to the scene. But I'll speak to Mantashe Sebei. Thank you so much and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. But let's speak about we're seeing that Minister of Police is here, but also Minister of Mineral Resources Gwede Mantashe coming here in Stilfontein.
Well, our presence here is to lay a charge on their door. We hold them, wholly responsible for the bloodbath that we have seen here. So many lives lost, and we believe that this loss of life was not only needless, it was a bloody culmination of all the decisions that they've taken since this saga has begun. They've pursued a policy that its consequences could not be different than, hundreds of lives that have been lost here. Because now we are talking about 109 bodies. But the reality is that in weeks and months before, we have seen tens of, people having lost their lives, but even many more that have drowned underground and, of course, have fallen into flooded areas of the mines and without prospects of their bodies ever being recovered. And all of that could have been entirely avoided. And we are saying that this is basically a catastrophe upon a catastrophe in a situation that was dire from the beginning. But of course, what this reflects is a callousness with which the elite in this country is treating the plight and the suffering of the poor, particularly the black working class. These people, as our brothers, our sons, our fathers, to people that you see here. So this idea that all of them are just alien, as if being from outside of this country, it means that you are not really part of us. When the working class in this country have always, particularly a mining working class, been drawn from the entire of sub-Saharan Africa, because that was a labor that built a mining industry in this country. But the fact of the matter is, we are here to lay a charge on them. We hold them responsible for this massacre. And of course, we'll let them know of that, but also our intention to escalate, not only in terms of demanding, obviously, a completion of the rescue, which is our immediate focus, but also that there should be a criminal liability and accountability for their actions. More than that, now that the Minister of Mineral Resources is here for the first time since this crisis began, we want to have conversation with him about the crisis in the mining industry. How do we get to a point where we have this mine that is abandoned alongside 6,000 other mines? How do we have an industry such as the one that we are having, where, if you take an example, last year, right, their turnover was 1.1 trillion. A year before, it was 1.2 trillion. The primary sales were somewhere at about 872 billion and so on. Of all of that, less than 2 billion of the minerals were sold in this country, meaning the rest of them were shipped off raw as they are, right? To Britain, to China, to US and so on. And it is that colonial mining and extractivism where minerals are taken raw as they are, not beneficiated locally, that has created a crisis of underdevelopment, lack of industrialization, but also the massive poverty and hunger that has reached a level of starvation that is forcing miners to work in these horrendous conditions.
Thank you so much for your time, Mantashe Sebei, there speaking on behalf of SAFTU, but also talking about what they are expecting to hear from the Minister Gwede Mantashe with regards to the situation here in Stilfontein, but also with regards to the 6,000 mining shafts that are abandoned, how the Department of Mineral Resources intends to take to make mining companies account for leaving those mine shafts abandoned. But I understand that Naledi Moleo, who is closer to the shaft where Minister Gwede Mantashe is, and assessing together with the police minister and other delegations. Naledi, tell us what you have on your side.
Yeah, Refilwe, it is a lot that is happening here at Stilfontein, and certainly for this community, a day that they've been waiting for a very long time, having called for intervention from the Department of Mineral Resources. Have you spoken to SAFTU as well, as they've shared that opinion to you? Of course, Refilwe, behind me is where the Mineral Resources Minister alongside the Police Minister have made their arrival here, and they will be briefed. This is really at Mineshaft 11 where we've seen some of those mine workers coming to the surface. As of today, 20 have been brought, 6 bodies having been brought to the surface as well. And one of the organizations that has been long-standingly speaking to the community and really wanting intervention and assistance for these mine workers is, of course, MACUA. And I'm joined by Sabelo Mnguni of MACUA now. Sabelo, the minister is finally here for mineral resources. Is it the right time? A little too late, maybe?
No, it is it's late. As to the presence of the minister today, we are not sure why they are here. For us, it's a media, it's a PR stunt to come when the professional rescue started. We've been calling for the minister to even comment. The TMRA has been silenced. They only issued a statement 2 days ago, commenting that we are lying to the public, that the court has compelled the state to start the rescue process. They've been silenced. They've been declaring what is happening in Shaft 11 as a criminal element. To say artisanal mining or illegal mining, it is a crime element that PS needs to deal with. So as to what they're going to do here, for us it doesn't mean anything much. As long as we are seeing the wheel keep going, we are here to monitor the wheel.
For the first time, the minister getting a glimpse of the state that these alleged illegal miners look like when they come out. For those that are not here, unable to see it for themselves, certainly even the state of those that are deceased that make it to the surface. What is that state?
The state is they are very critical. So before you came in now, we saw a 4th trip. So far, the cage has done 4 trips today. So with this 4th one, the one that was extracted, they extracted 10, extra 10 from the 20. So now we are sitting with it. The last 10 that we saw now, they are very critical. One just collapsed. The one was taken by the ambulance. So when you look at the bodies you can tell that the cause of death is starvation, because they are very thin. Everything is attached to their body. You can see the rib cage when you're looking. Even those who are still alive, some they can't even walk. The police needs to assist them to take them to processing. So what is happening is, what we are seeing here is what we've been saying all along. So the state now is critical than before. Yes, we accept it, we welcome the mine rescue operation, but it came too late, because now we're underground. When you listen to the reports yesterday, the comrade Manta, who was on the underground, who's assisting to retrieve everyone, indicated that we've got more bodies than we first received the reports. Remember, there was a letter that said there are 109. When
dead bodies?
Yeah, 109 dead bodies. But according to Comrade Manta, they are more than dead. We can estimate 250 plus bodies that are underground. Those who are still alive, they are very weak. Even the videos that we saw yesterday, it's just a fraction of what is happening. When you look at the miners being retrieved here, you can see if we spend another week, we'll be talking about more numbers of people who have died. The situation is very critical.
Yeah, well, there behind us, the minister is starting to move towards where we will have that briefing, Stephen. And really, I certainly think that the mining community as a whole going to be watching this very closely, because this is really not just an issue about what is unfolded here in Stilfontein in the northwest, but certainly an indication of how illegal mining is dealt with across the board, a problem that has gone on for a very long time in so many communities. The events that we see today perhaps are going to be some that are precedent-setting for so many miners. You heard MACUA there saying that it is quite possible that there are just more than 109 dead bodies in that underground right here in Stilfontein on the ground that we stand on, and he estimates that it could be up to 250. We're going to keep in closer, Stephen, and in just a few moments we'll bring you the words of the Minister of the Department of Mineral Resources. Stay with us.